Hey, hey, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Tuesday. We are back with another NXT recap, the Meta-Two AfterShow. This is also the episode after Vengeance Day, which was a lot happening on that as well. But I'm Katrina, one of your hosts and creators of In Cat We Trust, and I have with me my twin, Shay. How are you today?
You know, we ended the night with my fave getting a win, despite what happened after. We won't dwell on negatives, but it this was a great episode of NXT, so I really can't complain.
No, it definitely was a solid episode, especially for coming after a PLE, which sometimes it can be hit or miss, like the one right after. Sometimes they don't try as hard as they might have done for a going home show. So
Yeah.
I am excited. So let's pop right in there. Um, and so again, this is right after Vengeance Day. We saw quite a few things happening. That the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic ended with Baron and Braun making it to the finals and beating both Trick Williams and Carmelo. And, this implies that I guess they will have like a tag team championship, I guess, opportunity at some point. We also had with regard to Lyra's match with Roxanne, that became a triple threat match with Lola, which I was like, okay, I had to, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that Sis lost because I would have been somebody would have got a message for me. Hey Corey. But yeah, and to the comment about we've been saying this for weeks that Carmelo was gonna turn, so we weren't necessarily. I wasn't surprised because it just those are the vibes. We felt he was definitely hating a little bit. I like Carmelo, that's my guy, but he definitely was hating his head. He was hating his head. And so let's jump into this. Um, the first being a segment first with Carmelo kind of he opened the show with a steel chair and the crowd wasn't too happy with him. To be fair, because I know people have been saying that will people have been saying, oh well, Trick is good. And I'm like, yeah, Trick is good, but he's not Carmelo. This is just me being me. Oh, he's not Carmelo. I have a little soft spot for Carmelo, and why he is wrong. I'm like, y'all gonna stop these shenanigans. And y'all think he's supposed to be Trick is supposed to be if he's supposed to be, getting the Carmelo and all that. But yes, the crowd was not feeling Carmelo tonight. They really wasn't. And so, he at first I guess wasn't going to say anything, and then he decided that he would. He said that he not yet to what he was going to talk about or what he was going to say about his betrayal, which would then lead us until now our first matchup. So Baron and Braun arrived to celebrate the Wolf Dogs, and they basically called out the family, but instead they got Nathan Frazier and Axiom, which I was perfectly fine with. Uh, and it was a bit, for me, just because there's a lot happening, it was a bit chaotic. You had Carmelo come out there, and then he didn't really say much, and then you had, Nathan and Axiom kind of, go right into a tag match. And so I thought the match was pretty fast paced, really good action. Again, Nathan and Axiom are two of my faves in NXT because just separately they work great, but also they've been working really awesome together. And so I was like, all right, which excuse me, because it also leads up to it being against Malik Blade and Idris. Anafe. And so again, those two I actually like as well. I feel like it's kind of hit and miss with them only because sometimes they do really good and then we kind of see them like losing, like, oh, hey, where are we gonna go with this team here? But they looked really, really good tonight. I thought they looked really, really good. With that being said, Nathan and Axiom would do a Phoenix Splash into the Golden Ratio to win this matchup. Again, I thought this was a fantastic opening match. That I felt that they worked really, really hard in this matchup, and I did like that they kind of kept the match going with a picture-in-picture during the break, which I was like, that's nice because you kind of keep you into what the action is happening. So I feel like while we know the Wolf Dogs do have, did win the classics, it could very well, Nathan Frazier and Action can also be kind of in contention for me as opportunity to get the tag titles. I just felt like they've been working really well together. But again, this was a fantastic match. And even with, the Carmelo not saying anything and them kind of recapping what happened at Vengeance Day with Trick. And then even with Baron and Braun kind of doing the weird, like joking, I guess they were doing. Again, I thought it was pretty solid. And then after the match, the family would come in and said they accept the challenge for next week with the Wolf Dogs. But a lot happened in that beginning. So what were your thoughts on the opening and the opening match for NXT?
Carmelo stands on business. I don't care what nobody's saying. You better stand on it. But you know what? I think this makes me team Carmelo. I was team Carmelo when he walked out, honestly. Because the energy he was giving was just like, yeah, I did it. And who going to do something about it? Yes. Yes. That's all I needed. Because I couldn't deal with him like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But now that he's standing on it, like, yeah, I did it. And this is why. The line what he said about him laying in a hospital bed next to Booker T was crazy. That is crazy, but amazing. Because you know what? Booker T was sneak dissing him for weeks. Every time the Dusty Classic came and he came out and his song came on, it was like, oh, what's this? So you know what, Carmelo? I'm not even upset with you. Exactly. Do that. So that was perfect. And that was a great way to handle that hostile crowd. They were very hostile. So that's how you treat them. Nothing. I'm not saying nothing. They should just do that all the time, honestly. Rock, take notes. You too, do that. In terms of the first match, oh my goodness, that was so. I was like, what's going on here? Why are you guys like I want to know, like, was there a bet or something? Because everyone was popping off. And I just don't even know why. I mean, I guess just because I'm happy, I'm just confused as to why this NXT episode was so special that everyone was just popping the hell off. It was fantastic, but I love this match so much. Axiom, Nathan, Nathan, sometimes he get on my nerves because he do too much. But Axiom, that is my boy down to the bone. And I just want to see him start getting a little bit more. Like, I feel like, okay, yeah, he won, but then he got thrown out like a piece of trash, and then they moved on to the next segment, talking with the whole thing with the Wolf Dogs and the family. It was like an afterthought. Like, he just won, but it was an afterthought. I don't like that. I think Axiom deserves his spotlight time. He has been playing the background for way too long. I'm not dealing with it no more. I'm not dealing with it. I really am not. So, yeah.
No, I'm definitely with you on that. I thought they really they came with it. They came with it. I was like, all right, guys. I mean, but again, I am an Axiom fan as well. And I would have been perfectly fine if they would have won. But we gone through Wolf Dogs, I guess, guys. This will then lead us to Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov. So he arrived, Mr. Goatee, turtlenecks, looking the way he's supposed to be looking. And yeah, it's always turtleneck time, always. Came in and went right to the ring to call out Carmelo Hayes. But instead, we got Dijak, who felt the need to decide that he is supposed to have a title shot. Now, I don't know how, But here we are. That's what he said. And so Ilya did not seem interested until Dijak decided to hit him first. I'm like, see what I'm talking about, Dijak. Why you gotta always do these shenanigans? And so, the officials had to break them up because, Ilya is somebody who kind of stands on business as he should. And it was then announced that they would fight in the main event. With that being said, Ilya did mention that Trick was would have been a worthy champion, but he was going to lose his title. And I was like, you say it. And it didn't seem like Dijak was happy with the crowd booing, as they should have, because it's not about you, Dijak. It's just not about you at all. But here we are. But otherwise, I was cool with the segment. What were your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie, I was just so happy and thankful to see him walking into NXT with the title. Like, I was in fear. I was scared to death. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real. I was scared to death this weekend. I was scared. But luckily, the Lord came through and he made things happen. He pushed Carmelo to do what was right. And that's why Carmelo is on the right side of history, and that's why I'm always defend him. But yeah, no, this was a great segment, and I think we all knew Dijak was definitely gonna go for Dragunov next. Like, I think we all knew. So him coming out was not a shock to me. What was a shock to me was that punch to the face. Because why would you do that? That was hurtful. I saw the slow-mo. You hit that man for real. And he's bleeding. Everyone is just beating on Dragunov lately, and I don't really like this. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna have to actually park it right here on this block, and we'll leave it here. And let's keep walking. Because we're not gonna keep doing this. You're not gonna keep making Dragunov look like I'm not gonna say the word, but I think you guys know what I'm gonna say. But I did enjoy this segment though. It was very exciting. I was very into it. So yeah.
Yeah, Dijak, see, just want to like him as it is, because I didn't like that. I didn't like him starting. I'm already like, he's been annoying me for months, but then I'm like, first of all, you calm down. And so Ilya just need to beat him up. I'm gonna have to agree there, because it wasn't long before he was bleeding. I was like, oh, I mean, I get it that you're tough, but we don't need to bleed every match. We don't need that. It's fine. I don't need to see those type of things personally. So I'm gonna have to agree with you there. He definitely is always bleeding. He's always bleeding, but he's still my guy. Still my guy. Still my champ. I'm not sure what that comment's for. But as far as this, man, please, don't do it, because I'm already mad at people's fans. There's so many fans I am annoyed with all day with their shenanigans. But yeah, so Dijak is like, I don't know where he be, because he better leave my guy alone. Okay, he better leave my guy alone. I didn't like that, not at all. This now leads us into another matchup, this time with Lexis King versus Riley Osborne, who was accompanied by Chase U. And so, at first, JC did warn Thea to kind of back off from Riley, I guess, as it seemed like he was playing hard to get. And so she kind of stayed in the back during this matchup. But it seemed at first he was on a roll, like he was doing what he had to do, I guess. And then he realized that Thea was not in the crowd. And unfortunately, because I guess she wasn't in the crowd, Riley was distracted to get a super kick and a coronation, and Lexis King would win this match. I was kind of annoyed, because for me, they've been kind of building it up a little bit, enough that we should have gotten a little bit more than 4 minutes. And I'm like, all right. After all these weeks of the two of them having what seemed to be semi beef, why is it only a 4-minute match. I didn't particularly like that. Now, as I do love Lexis King's entrance, because I do, I don't know what it is that's just is not hitting for me. And I don't know if it's because they keep putting them these random storylines. Maybe that's what it is. So hire me, WWE. I'm ready. But I feel like whatever we were supposed to be getting from him, it's not happening because I feel like they don't know what to do with him just yet. And I do think his offense is solid, but he needs with the kind of gimmick he has. I think he should be a little bit more flashy. This is just my opinion, though. With that being said, afterwards, I guess he did ask but why, about missing his match. But instead, they decided then to focus on the Valentine's Day date. And JC said she was going to help, which I still felt like she's jealous because, ma'am, relax. You're a little too involved. You too involved. Hey, you too involved, JC. Like, relax. Get your own person. Why are you so involved? Every time you see people be too involved, what happened? This is reminding me of a certain something that I do not like. Fallon, that's to you. Who just mind your business. Like, relax. Doing too much. But yeah, that was how that match and those segments went. What were your thoughts on the match and the segments?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was pretty short. I think it was the shortest match of the night, honestly, because I feel like a lot of the matches were running long. But it was a really, really quick but cute match. Like, I'm not mad at it. Like, I noticed Lexis is definitely moving a little bit quicker. Like, I'm noticing things. So I'm like, yay, okay, we're on the up and ups. I do agree, like, he's kind of like directionless, but I think he's just kind of right now in this, like, he's like the Grayson Waller. Like, he kind of slid into Grayson Waller's role of being that really annoying heel who's just really a nuisance to everyone in the building. That's kind of his thing. But he does need like an actual storyline very soon. But for now, I'm trusting the process. Like a lot of you need to. But yeah. That's my thoughts. And also, JC, just like I freaking said, JC is sabotaging Thea. She's sabotaging her. I know she is. She made a face last week when Andre Chase said, "Oh, you're finally a part of Chase U." He said something along those lines. I forgot. It was something along those lines. And she made a face. She's up to something. I don't want to hear it. She's up to something.
Yeah, I'm definitely if I was a writer, they're getting fired just off principle. I don't know how, because technically me writing doesn't put me in charge, but I'm gonna make it work. Don't worry. With that being said, yeah, I do think JC just I don't know. She needs to get a life or something. Somebody need to talk to her. Somebody find her a boo or something. Valentine's Day is what, next week? Find her somebody so she can mind her. She's getting on my nerves. Like, she's too involved. Have we not learned nothing from Fallon? Have we learned nothing? Mind yours. That's it. But yeah, this now leads us to Carmelo, who came back to the ring to explain his actions. And so they had him come to the ring, mad dramatic, because they put the single spotlight on him on his back. And I'm like, oh, okay, drama. They're preparing themselves for the CW. The drama. I was like, okay, all right, I'm with it. And he did pretty much. He basically said to Trick, or saying towards Trick that he was always the hype man and never the front man, and he was believing his hype a little too much. Again, the crowd was not on Carmelo's side. I was on his side. Just let that be clear. So they booed him a lot. They really did. With that being said, he also admitted that it was him in October, which I kind of felt like we thought it was him because of the drama, like the way he was overselling the point that he was the one. Oh, it wasn't me. It was like, you're doing too much. You making it hot because now I'm thinking it's you. But even with him doing all of these things, personally, I'm fine with Carmelo. So eventually they're gonna really have one between the two of them because this is like a breakup of the bromance. But I will also agree, especially with Carmelo saying "you damn right I did," which I have said this to people before, but I was doing shenanigans. So I was like, "You damn right, sure did." But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a really well done segment. A little bit long winded, but otherwise I liked it. And again, I am still very much on his side. And then Carmelo even had the music play a little bit, and then he to act like he was coming, and then but it was said that he was in the hospital with Booker T, et cetera, et cetera. But what were your thoughts on this segment?
Wow. Fantastical. Amazing. Cinema, even. Thank you, Carmelo. Thank you for this. Not for beating up Trick. I like Trick. But just for this segment, I thought it was so good. Even the little fake out, I said, oh my God, this is really one of Sean's children. This is really one of his children, like out there. Wow. The fake out was fantastic. I'm so sorry. And him dancing to the song, like, please, Carmelo, you're breathing life into me right now. Trick, I'm so sorry. I naturally am going to cheer for the bad guy. This is just who I am as a person. I am so sorry. Rooting from you. I'm rooting for you from afar because I'm over here in the Carmelo Hayes section rooting for him. Because, whoa, that was such a good segment. It really, really was. He hit the nail. He had that crowd in the palm of his hand. Like, Carmelo, you are really him. I don't care what that crowd said. I don't care. You're him. You really are.
Yeah, no, he he said Jersey. I mean, listen, Jersey back in the day was they was on it. But yeah, personally, again, I'm with Carmelo. Like, not that I dislike Trick because he didn't really do anything to me for me to dislike him, but I was always a Carmelo fan, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be an apologist for Carmelo. It's fine. No, is Booker T really innocent? No.
He was talking mad crap every week during the Dusty Cup when Carmelo's song came on. He was talking mad crap. Yeah, nope, he deserved it. He deserved it.
If he caught some strays, that's the vibes. I'm gonna have to agree there too. He definitely was doing shenanigans the last couple of weeks. I was like, calm down, Booker T. Calm that down, all right? Shucky duck yourself to the corner for talking smack about Carmelo. But yeah. After this, there was a segment where Kalani Jordan talks about her rise to success. And then this led to Kiana James and Izzy making fun of her. And then they bullied Kehlani's friend, Brinley Reese. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. But what were your thoughts on that segment?
I am so sorry. My sound cut out. Please tell me the segment you just said. I'm so sorry. Kalani. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Kalani. Fantastic. Listen, I love her. I watched her with a Gen Pop crowd that don't watch wrestling. They loved her. They loved her. That's it. She's amazing.
Yeah, no, I think she's great. I like Kiana, but I was like, girl, why you gotta always be teasing somebody? Can you just stop? For the love of God. I don't apologize. Okay, I'm lying. I do apologize, but I'm not apologizing for nothing about anything wrestling wise. But yeah. This now leads us to a matchup between Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez. And now, see, this is so it felt like the crowd was a bit split. Some was seemed like it was okay with Lola, but a lot was also for Roxanne, which I was fine with. There was a moment Lola countered the downward spiral, and had Roxanne like knocked out with a hip. Uh, and so for an extent, she was doing some stuff where she kind of like took over to an extent of it. And she even did a spinning back fist. With this uh being said, I don't know what it is. I think that she does still need a little bit tweaking, personally, just because I felt like we keep it's like you can then like I think this is probably one of her better matches. Obviously, I thought she was pretty solid at Vengeance Day for what it was, but I also think with regard to Vengeance Day, you had both Roxanne and Lyra, who are both fantastic wrestlers, and of course, if you have two people like that, you can easily make the third person look a little better because you have two people kind of half carrying it, and so it's not too bad. But you know, it was a good enough impression. I still think she needs more something. Like I think she needs a bit of something to make her like really pop me to be like, all right, let's let it go. I do think she should probably do more striking stuff personally, only because that's kind of where her background is. But with that being said, for some reason, Tatum Paxley would come out and distract Lola, and like she was trying to, I guess, cash it. So it was just a really weird thing because I didn't know why she was out there, but because of that, Roxanne hit her prop rocks to win the match. I'm not really sure why Tatum felt the need to come out there, just because I'm like, okay, well, what's happening? What's happening here? And obviously because she did lose to Lyra, you gotta have to give her some kind of a win. But I really wasn't sure why Tatum was there. I was just like, if you're trying to, I guess, even support Lyra, I'm not, unless it's because of the triple threat, but like Lyra wasn't even there. I'm not even sure why Tatum was involved, but here we are. But otherwise, the match was alright, wasn't bad. I do think Lola with some more time might be. I won't be so irritated. But otherwise, I thought she was a little bit better than she's been in other weeks when she was like in the ring, and I'm like, Lord help me. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
So it's been a very busy set of days for Lola. She just had her best match ever at Vengeance Day, and she just had her best singles match tonight with Roxanne. I do see like she is getting better. Like I am enjoying her matches more as time goes on. Um, yeah, but I'm still like, girl, no, 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 no. You're not about to skip a line like that. I don't, no. But I do see she definitely is getting in there. Her strikes are lethal. That backhand was crazy, actually. Like it was very swift and it just looked so real and believable. It was really good. Roxanne's just been in her zone. She's been in her Zoom every morning. She be getting in her Zoom right away. Right away. When Vic said she was waiting in the parking lot for Lola before the show, I said, yeah, Roxanne is not playing. She's been beating people up in the locker rooms if they even breathe wrong. And she is waiting for you in the parking lot if you try her. I don't know what happened, this metamorphosis with Roxanne, but girl, I am zigging it. I'm happy. And you got me to the point where I want you to be Lyra. That's where I'm at with it. Because she has been on her business. Roxanne is one of the best wrestlers in WWE, period. I'm gonna tell you, yeah, and I'm standing on it. That girl is amazing. She is so good and so young, and she's only gonna get better. It's insane. So I'm just, and I guess they had the whole thing with Tatum to protect Lola, but again, you don't have to do that. Even if she lost to Roxanne, it makes sense. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, she lost to Roxanne. It's terrible. She can't get back from. I was like, I knew she was gonna beat Roxanne in the first place because Roxanne is crazy. She's crazy in the ring. I understand that. They're on two different levels. The same thing I said when it came to Dragunov and Trick is two different levels. Apparent. I don't think anyone would have been like, man, she lost to Roxanne. She's done. No, it makes sense that she would lose to Roxanne. It makes perfect sense. But I guess they really want to. They're protecting their investment, and they're gonna, have Tatum come out, do the distraction, so it kind of gives you that, it leaves that room to be like, oh, well, what if Tatum didn't come out? I get it. Tatum, girl, you crazy. I love you though.
Yeah, I definitely agree. uh, she's definitely one of my favorites, but I've been a fan of Roxanne since before WWE, so I'm semi-biased because I've definitely been a fan of her previous to WWE. But yeah, no, I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. Um, and I'm all for standing on business. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Those are the vibes you got to be on. Um, that now leads us to our tag team match between Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, versus Ren Sinclair and Fallon Henley. And so this was, all right. Uh, not bad, not bad. And so the ladies of Meta-Four did target Ren a lot through this match. And while I think Fallon looked decent enough when she was in, I do think that what they did was Lash and Jakara kind of had Ren like isolated from most, which again, that's usually um how you use, if you're trying to be like a good tag team, I'm like, if you can isolate one person for an extended period of time, you can probably win the match. Just as um this is just how it works. And so I was okay with that formula of them starting with the newbie and kind of keeping her there. I do not think necessarily that Ren and Fallon have much chemistry just yet, and it might just be because again they're the first time they're tagging together, but also what you call it, Ren Roy, aka Maddie, she's new. And so you kind of have to give her a little bit of grace in that regard. But I do think of everything, for me, I think Lash Legend really has been showing that she's getting it all the way together. Like I feel like she's getting better every time we see her in the ring. And so I was cool with that. However, Lash Legend would do a powerbomb. And they would win this match. Again, Ren does have some in-ring experience. Previously WWE, but I don't know if it's just me. Maybe, I guess I got to figure out what her character is really going to be going for it, because I feel like right now she looks a little bit lost in the shuffle. But it's just, again, she's new, so I'm giving her some grace. She's a little bit new, just getting into WWE, but she does have in-ring experience, so it's not like she's one of the people that WWE signed that doesn't have type of wrestling experience, like the ones that's just the athletes, but they're not necessarily wrestlers. And so I was all right. It was all right. There was a moment also where Fallon and Lash like had a bit of a tug of war over Chikara, and Fallon would go throat first instead of second rope. But I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, this was not bad. What were your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked it. I think it was a good showcase for Lash Legend. I think she definitely was the MVP of this match. She just was very in her zone. Um, Fallon definitely was in her bag too. I got to give it to her. She did like something, I don't know, it was like a wheelbarrow type thing, hit off the ropes, and then into like a bulldog and a drop kick. I was like, oh my, oh, I was like, okay, Miss Yeehaw. I was not familiar with your game. But yeah, no, I really like that. And I mean, I don't know where this is going. Like, I don't know where this partnership between her and Ren is going. I want to see, because she looked very angry after the match. Like, I've never seen someone go, "It's not your fault." Like, it's like opposite Gene Snitsky. Like, it's not my fault. It's not your fault. You know what I mean? But she was angry, so it looked like, it felt like you. It felt like you felt like it was her fault. That's what I was getting from the family. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jakara as well. Oh my gosh, she was really giving it too. I liked it when she kicked Ren on the ropes. Miss Jackson, why would you kick that girl like that? I really actually enjoyed. I think more so from the side of like Meta-Four. I liked the vibe and what was coming from Lash and Jakara for sure.
I definitely agree with you there. Um, oh, trying to find those comments. But yeah, no, I Fallon, you get a little bit of credit, semi credit, I'll give a little bit, give you a little bit of reprieve from my smart talking that I usually do. Um, there was also some segments. One where Robert Stone Kids convinced him to team up with Ron Wagner, which nobody asked for. Noam and Ora Mensa accepted no quarter catch a match from No Quarter Catch Crew for his Heritage Cup on the line. But he didn't seem too interested about that part, I guess. There was also a segment in the locker room where Josh gave Brooks Jensen, you know, pretty much told him to stop whining and start fighting for his spot, which I was like, no, Josh. And then there was also a segment where Jada Parker convinced Ava to give her a shot at Adriana Rizzo next week. And Ridge also got his shot at Gallus, I guess, one at a time. She was Ava agreed to that as well. I do want to say, though, before I hand the reins to you, that because Ava was mentioned, I'm going to need y'all to get yourselves together. Now, I'm all for standing on what you need to say. I'm all for that. That's who I am as a person. However, of all the people I have disliked in wrestling over the years, and there's quite a few at this very moment in February 6, 2024, that I don't like. However, Katrina is not going to these people that I don't like in sending threats. I'm not doing that. Katrina's not. Let me go personally tweet somebody I don't like because I don't like a person that's insane. As much crap as I talk about Cody Rhodes, I don't tweet him. You know what, Cody? I'm gonna tell you today, fuck you or something. I don't do it. There's no need for that. It's so. I'm gonna just need y'all to leave Ava alone because Ava did nothing to nobody. Y'all cannot blame poor Ava for something that she's not even a part of. I was like, if y'all haven't realized it, The Rock doesn't even turn wrestling. He really doesn't. I think he said one thing, and that's when she first signed. He says nothing barely about her. He talks about his other daughters, but he doesn't say much about her. And y'all doing all this extra shenanigans. I'm gonna need y'all to get that together. That annoyed me. I was highly annoyed. Even as much as which call get my nerves, Tony Khan always gets on my nerve to the end, just to my core. He just upsets me. I am not. Let me go decide today. Let me go to Tony Khan and send us some threats. For what? It's not that deep. He's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. Katrina's gonna do what she's gonna do. And so I'm gonna need y'all to get that together because y'all get on my nerves. Okay, y'all are getting on my nerves. I am 2 seconds from finding y'all places of employment, and I'm gonna send them shit to your place because now you're gonna be jobless. You want to take the time and act crazy. Now you're gonna have no jobs. That's the vibes I'm gonna be on. I need y'all to relax. I was highly annoyed seeing that. Highly annoyed. It's very different if somebody's being like racist or something, because I'm okay with racist people getting rid of their accounts, get rid of your account. But she ain't doing anything. That has nothing, there's no need for that. And so I'm only saying this, not to sound like I'm going ranty, but because Ava was mentioned, and she doesn't deserve any of that nonsense. Y'all being mad about Cody it's not that deep. And he told you guys in a nice way to just calm down. And you're still going to want Cody. You know what I want? I want $1 million. I want it back. Am I going to get $1 million? Probably not. So if you don't get Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in April 2024, guess what? You're going to live. You'll be fine. But leave Ava out of this. Ava has nothing to do with what her dad is doing or with Cody or anybody. She is on NXT doing her little NXT duties. Leave her be. Because that annoyed the hell out of me today. And in regards to me tweeting Tony Khan, I have quote tweeted his ass when he was doing shenanigans. With that being said, I did not say I hope you croak or not, because that's too much. I don't say those kind of things. It's not that serious. I'm not talking shit like, get off social media. I don't know, smoke some weed if it makes you feel better if you're just depressed. But I wouldn't say anything like, let me threaten your life, because it's not that deep. So that's all I'm saying. now that I got that out of my system, sorry guys, I just had to say that because that was getting me tight this morning. Yeah, it really was. What were your thoughts on these segments?
And I just want to add to that, actually, since we're here, I knew y'all had lost the plot when I seen y'all coming at them saying they was Nepo babies. That's when I knew y'all lost the plot completely. What the hell is Cody? That's when I said, you know what? I'm not even about to, because y'all lost the plot. But anyways, Vaughn, stop harassing Noam. This is actually harassment, and I hope Noam puts a restraining order. Seriously, stop. Enough. When it comes to Jensen, I think I've already said it. The Yeehaw Brigade are bullies. They're very nasty, and I'm not feeling this. He didn't have to put his hands on Jensen like that. Like, Jensen, you should have. You really should have caught him, because who are you putting your hands on? Jensen, stand up, please. Get them boots up. Boots, I need you to start walking. Don't let them treat you like this, Jensen. Because when it was the stuff with Kiana, it was a whole, oh no, you can't labels, all that. It was all that. Now it's nastiness. Now it's get up on your feet and do what you gotta do. But Josh, what are you doing? Just because you've been in a few matches ago, but you've been losing them. So let's jump off that high horse and stop talking to people, telling them what they need to be doing, because you ain't doing it either. How about that? You ain't doing it either. But Jensen, I know my man Jensen gonna get it right. He gonna get up and he's really gonna have them sick. Jensen, get you a girl sidekick, and I want y'all both to just go out your way for the next 5 months to ruin every match that Josh or Fallon has just because they acting like this. And that's where I'm at.
No, I'm have to agree with you there, because I'm like, no, I get that you're getting your things happening, Josh. The ill. Jensen's nicer than I would have been, personally. Because I would have been like, oh, playing this game. Petty Betty. I am petty. Wouldn't be me, personally. Would be me. He's nicer than I am. But, I just, as a mom, I know that last line sounds kind of personal. So I mean, I don't know if I can even say I was going to say it, because I'm like, oh,
you just
that sounds real personal. Yeah, that sounds real personal. I want to say what I was going to say because I don't want to, if this is happening, my bad. I want to say what I was about to, but in regards to no, let's just put you up here, Mr. Mr. Alabamian. That's fine, but you can be Yeehaw Brigade in multiple states, multi-states. This is a multi-state type of situation. Okay, you can be there in Texas. You can be there in Florida. It could be Yeehaw in many states. So it might not be Alabama. It just might be that they're doing too much. They got to wear little vest, jean, vest, shirt things kind of happening. Then they got to have cowboy boots and everything, looking like they're about to maybe take some hay and fling it. I don't know, whatever the vibes are. Oh, they're from Alabama. Oh, it's tough. But with that being said, I know some nice people from Alabama. Steph is from Alabama. She's nice. She's a nice lass. But sometimes Josh be doing too much, and y'all know my feelings on Fallon. Y'all know, clearly she need to go on Love Is Blind or something. Find somebody. Find someone. Leave them alone. You annoying me. But I'll let you. Okay, I'll let you know what for the rest of the show, which is almost over. For the rest of the show, I will leave the Yeehaw Brigade rules. I will leave them alone for you, my guy. For you. Honestly, that's the kind of mom I want to be. Those vibes. You thought, and then I want to sit and get comfy in my chair get all comfy and be like, all right, children, open your stuff. And then the look of sadness that will come across my child's face. I'm like, oh, you thought I was going to spend money on Cody? Me? And here we are. Now, would they might need some therapy later on because they was like, my mom scarred me? Maybe. But also, what would I get out of this? A laugh. Sometimes the world needs laughter, and that would be me. Let me tell for somebody. I start getting tweets about, how can you do this to your children? Like, give me Cody Rhodes. So let me stop before I get some. Because I'm telling you, I even threaten me. I'm gonna find y'all jobs. Like I said, I wish I would threaten me about wrestling. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. You're gonna wish your mom decided instead to have you, she did something else. So play with me. Those vibes I'm gonna be on. Okay. So y'all better not be threatening me over wrestling, because I'll find places of employment. I'm petty. But yeah. No, I mean, maybe my kids. Listen, my kids been talking mess about Cody Rhodes like for weeks. They've been only one kid knows me well enough not to do it, but them other two, they've been on it. They was laughing so hard about the Royal Rumble. I was sad. They was like, Mom, look who won the Rumble. And I was like, who wants to leave today? Because y'all doing shenanigans. I mean, if you want to send me that, I'm going to use it to get my Kobe points in. Kobe to the trash can, if that happens. That's what's going to happen. If somebody send me that, I'm going to use it for basketball practice. And one. Sorry, guys. My bad. I got distracted. Using Cody merch for cleaning my house and practicing my Kobe shots. Okay, I'm gonna be in the gym with my figure. This now leads us to the final match of the night, which was Ilya Dragunov versus that raggedy person named Dijak. And so there was the situation earlier where Dijak did hit Ilya, and so it was implied that his nose was broken, and he kind of sold it throughout the match. I thought, this was great. I really, really liked that. Again, I don't like Dijak, but I do think that Dijak and Ilya had good chemistry in this, honestly. They both really, really did their thing in this. Personally, there was a moment that Ilya caught Dijak like in the knee because of feast your eyes thing that he does, and then they did some strikes, but then Dijak would give him a big boot, which I thought was really well. And I'll give Dijak this because I don't particularly like him, but he did do a springboard elbow drop, which was pretty impressive if I say so myself, but also because he injured his elbow apparently at Vengeance Day, it was sold that he couldn't really finish off, which again I thought that was pretty well. I thought both of this was just again a fantastic match. I do think this is gonna lead to a triple threat at Stand and Deliver because Carmelo, after Alan Dragunov win, because he did win this match, Carmelo will come and then catch Ilya with a chop block and stood over him with his title over Ilya. And I was like, oh, Carmelo, you're making this very hard. Because again, I am truly a Carmelo apologist. He did nothing wrong. But you can't be messing with my guy because Ilya Dragunov is there to be great. He is there to give me nice looks. Okay? I'm there to see turtlenecks and good. That's what I'm here for. And so Carmelo was like, no, we can't have this. Now, if you want to beat up Dijak, beat him up. I am perfectly fine with that. But you can't just smack Dragunov, and so it's hard. It's very hard. But yeah, it was a really good match. Thought it was a great ending. Again, having, you know, having Ilya there in the beginning, having him in the end, I thought was perfect. I do think again we're probably gonna get some triple threat at some point, most likely at Stand and Deliver. And I do think before then, it's, or they might wait a little bit for it and have Melo on Trick, because obviously that's gonna happen. There's just too much now blood between the two of them. But again, I thought it was a really fantastic match. I did appreciate that the crowd did say thank you, Ava, at the end uh, of this, kind of saying thank you, because she was the one who okayed this matchup. And I was like, at least some of you guys have some courtesy and respect, unlike the little cretins in the IWC. But yeah, that was the match. What were your thoughts on that?
I need to know, like, somebody had to have a bet, like, whoever have the best match tonight get an extra 1,000 or something. Because I feel like everyone really, really brought their A game. This is why I say I feel like this was one of the best episodes of NXT. Like, you had the really good wrestling matches. We opened up with a fire tag match, closed out with a fire singles match. I mean, yeah, NXT was on fire. And this match, just like it was so good. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way. Because NXT, timing, listen, one thing about NXT, the timing always be a little bit off when it comes to that last match or that last segment. It always runs over or it gets cut in half. You think the match is happening, someone gets involved, it doesn't happen. You got to wait next week. I was so pleasantly surprised that we really got a full match, and it was a good match. They was beating on each other. Like, they were connecting. The chops were chopping. The punches were punching. Even the kicks. I mean, Dragunov. And, obviously, Dijak a little bit taller than him, but he was getting that foot right up there, like in your face. And this is why he does those crazy workouts, so he can get his foot up there exactly for this moment. That's why he does these crazy workouts that he posts on Instagram, guys, for that. And thank God. This was just so good. I don't think it's the end. I kind of agree with you. I don't think this is the end. And I could see it being like a multi-man match, which I love. Oh my God, multi-man matches. The match will be insane. With Carmelo, if Trick comes back in time, a four-way, that match could be the possibility to be one of the matches of the year. I will say it. And I will stand on it. I'm just so happy to be an NXT fan. And I'm so happy that NXT is my top brand that I will defend till the death of me, because this is what they're giving me week after week. They're giving me stories. Like, I mean, obviously you had Carmelo, his segment, fantastic. Like, they're just giving me what I am looking for. And I love this brand so freaking much. Is it next week yet? That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. They definitely did their thing. Again, I'm not even a Dijak fan, but yeah, I thought they really definitely did what they were supposed to do. Nice way to end the show. I was with it, and yes, thank you, Ava, for being better than Katrina, better than me. I'll just find places of employment so y'all can play games. But yes, that is the end of NXT. Again, I did want to re-apologize last week. We didn't get to have a show because some stuff was going on my end. Life was doing life things, and so I wasn't able to be at a computer to even get on. But as always, we are so appreciative of you guys just riding with us and appreciating you guys understanding my rant. Sometimes I got to do it. I tell myself I'm going to behave, and then I'm like, nope, not today. But we do really, truly appreciate you guys. And Shay, tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find you.
So you can catch me with a new episode for the Big Pop Theory podcast every Monday. We just dropped a new episode, and we definitely touch heavily on the foolishness that we had to see this past weekend. And I got it. Trust me, I got it. You can catch me on Twitch, streaming every once in a while, probably tomorrow and Thursday. Shay Sawyer. It's just Shay Sawyer. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at @ShaySawyer_ or Shay Sawyer was here on Instagram as well. You can catch me also on Saturday for the Collision after show on Unpopular Review. Hopefully we get a Jay White sighting. But yeah, that's where you can catch me.
As for me, check me on In Chat We Trust, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, and Instagram, Easy3, because I refuse to call Twitter X. I do have some new interviews. I do have one going out this week. I also got some interviews, one solo and one with Steph from some of the ladies from WoW. Check that out on my channel. I'm trying. I'll get to gaming at some point. Maybe. It's tough, guys. Sorry, it's just I'm doing 20 things. And obviously catch me here on Tuesdays after NXT and on Wednesdays with Steph to talk WoW, which is super awesome. And I've been posting quite a few interview clips on my social media. So if you see like a lot, it's because I just did a show. I did 18 interviews, and so those babies going up. Again, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we will see you guys next week after NXT.